Super Talk 99.7 WTN, show flying by on this Monday. Thank you for being with us, whatever time you're able to give. We're certainly appreciative of it. It's 7 minutes after 6 o'clock. We're here till 7 o'clock. We'll hand off to Mark Levin at that time. Ken Weaver's back in the newsroom, News Closet B, we call it. Jackson Williams behind the glass, making sure that everything that comes out of our speakers sounds as good as possible. My name is Matt Murphy. I'm your humble host and correspondent. Thank you for being with us on this July 28th. A lot of news going down in the state of Tennessee. I've not gotten to a lot of big stuff happening around the United States. Obviously, we're talking about Trump and the EU deal. Most of you know the parameters of that deal. It is a groundbreaking new deal made between Trump and the EU while he was over in Scotland. That is very, very beneficial for the United States of America. Donald Trump has upped his deadline on Russia, saying, look, if you can't get your mind right in the next 10 or 12 days, we're going to go ahead with sanctions like you will not believe and some other matters because he does not believe that Vladimir Putin has been an honest actor in negotiations trying to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. Speaking of wars, Donald Trump has also been up front and in front of the issues involving the Gaza Strip and some of the humanitarian issues that are going on there. Some of those issues have been exacerbated by Hamas. There is no question. Some of those issues have been problematic for the UN, no question, but they are issues nonetheless. Are the people that are not participating in this conflict getting the food and aid that they need? And if not, what can we do to make sure that they get the food and the aid that they need? And I understand that you're working at a deficit. I understand who the good hats and the bad hats are in this. But I also understand that you need to get that aid to those people because you have to be better than the enemy. And the enemy is obviously the terrorists that control that region. And they don't care about the people that they claim to care about, the quote-unquote Palestinians. They don't care about them. But Donald Trump is up front saying we need to do something different to make sure that people are getting aid, and we applaud him for that. Dan Bongino speaking over the weekend via X, talking about his frustration and out-and-out shock as to what he has learned as assistant deputy or I guess deputy director of the FBI. More on that coming up as well. The big news today, well, there are a couple of big news. One, Donald Trump broke his silence, too, on Epstein and talked about how his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein completely fell apart years and years and years ago, long before Epstein was accused of some of the things he was accused of. Perhaps we'll have time to get into that as well. 615-737-9986 if you want to be a part of the show. Right now, it's late, but it's time. It's Nincompoops in the News. All right, friends, I appreciate you staying late with us for Nincompoops in the News, our opportunity to go around the globe, around these United States of America, right here in the state of Tennessee, and find those nincompoops where we live and breathe and present them to you. Ken Weaver gets a story. Jackson Williams gets a story. Matt Murphy gets a story, and you get a vote. 615-737-9986. If I recall correctly, I won on Friday. And I think
Are we sure about that?
Uh-huh, I am.
Ken?
What, you don't believe me?
What was your story on Friday?
I don't remember.
Me neither.
But I won.
It wasn't very impactful, apparently.
I mean, I do remember.
You mean my butt sniffer dude didn't
Oh,
win?
Butt sniffer won.
Butt sniffer did win. Oh, I must have. Ken, I apologize. As I sit here today, I thought I won that story. That's old Jay St. Clair. As I sit here today, I can't remember. Yeah, your butt sniffer did win, Ken.
He tried to pull a fast one on us, Brother Weaver.
I could have sworn I won that thing. Well, Ken Weaver, you're the big winner. That means you get to go first.
Great, because I didn't want you boys getting this one before me.
Okay.
Branson, Missouri couple arrested after allegedly living in a Walmart attic for 2 years.
What's with you and Walmart lately, Ken?
What? And I tell you, you boys got to go over and look at this couple. Woo!
I bet they look great.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the gal. She's got, looks like she took a magic marker and wrote words on her face and then clown lips and clown eyes. She doesn't have any hair either. A couple has been arrested after authorities say they secretly lived in the attic space of a local Walmart supercenter for more than 2 years, completely unnoticed by staff. According to police, 47-year-old Todd McAllister and 45-year-old Jessica Reams had been residing in a makeshift living area tucked inside the store's attic above the garden center and automotive section. The discovery came after an HVAC contractor responding to a routine maintenance issue stumbled upon what he described as a, quote, fully lived-in campsite, complete with a mattress, battery-powered lanterns, storage bins full of clothes, and even a working hot plate. Now, where do you think they got those items?
Huh.
It looked like they'd been there a long time, said Sergeant Lane Holloway of the Branson Police Department. They had shelves organized with food from the store, books, clothes, even a small area where they were growing herbs.
Herbs.
What kind of herbs, Ken?
Well, they were using LED lights. Well, the couple allegedly accessed the attic through an old maintenance hatch in the stockroom that had long been sealed off from regular use. Investigators believe they would sneak down late at night and take food.
I guess so.
At least they took hygiene products, too. Supplies blending in with the late... They blended in with the late shift employees.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
What's going on?
Tough day at work, isn't it?
Oh, my gosh.
What are you doing with that underarm deodorant?
Another
Nothing?
day, another dollar. Ain't that right?
I think somebody needs you over in the men's department.
Oh, yeah. I need to get back over there.
They were careful, Sergeant Holloway added. They didn't take much at once. We believe they used fake employee vests and timed their movements around security camera blind spots.
Wait, who are you again? I work with Joe.
Get this.
Who's Joe? Joe works over in auto repair.
You know, fellow with a wife looks like a clown.
Oh, yeah.
The couple reportedly kept a journal documenting their experience with entries referencing store noise patterns, restocking schedules, and strategies for avoiding detection. One entry read, Day 614. We made it through Black Friday again. The noise.
Did they never go outside?
I don't know, man. But apparently they got in through an area of the store that had been, like, locked off, blocked off. Nobody used it ever again.
I don't.
Except this pair.
Mario wants to know if they clocked in. That'd be pretty good.
They should have applied for a job.
Clocked in, had a locker.
Got paid, too.
Yeah, got paid. And just, well, see you guys tomorrow.
I'll put it over there on my Super Talk 99.7 WTN's Ken Weaver Facebook page so everybody can get a look at this cup.
I love it. I don't even know why we should go, Jackson. But I mean,
I've got a good one.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to sandwich my poor one right in the middle of your good one and Ken's good one. A man recently revealed how the tires he purchased off. Mine's just a real personal warning to all of you to watch out for Facebook Marketplace. A man recently revealed how the tires he purchased off Facebook Marketplace quickly turned into a trip to the discount tire to buy new ones. In his TikTok video, Wyatt shares how he bought tires from Facebook Marketplace and was promised that those tires had 70% wear on them. Don't be a dumb bleep like I was and buy used tires off Facebook Marketplace, he said. Wyatt said the Marketplace seller told him there was about 70% tread life left on the tires. He trusted the seller's word. And after he met with the seller and after a brief inspection, he went through with the purchase. I looked at the tires and they look good to me. They don't really look too bad or nothing, said Wyatt. They don't look too bad or nothing.
They don't look too bad or nothing.
After purchasing the tires, Wyatt said he took them to Discount Tire to have them mounted on his vehicle, only to find out that they could not be balanced. He said the mechanics of the Discount Tire informed him that there were bulges on the tops of the tires and they were completely out of balance and unable to balance them. In other words, the tires were useless. After wasting $500 on these, I had to buy new tires anyways. Don't buy used bleep off Facebook Marketplace, he concluded. He added in the caption, please be careful. It's way too easy to get swiped. Be smart with your money or end up like I am with 4 unstable tires. I'm just a nincompoop.
Ooh.
I actually added that last sentence just for impact. I felt like I needed a little something there. Wouldn't it be good if he called himself a nincompoop? I feel like it would have competed with Ken's story if that were the case. But no, he's just a nincompoop. It's named by me because the dumb A bought used tires off Facebook Marketplace, and he got swindled out of $500. There you go.
Not your best. Not your worst.
Whatever,
though.
Jackson. Why don't you proceed to lose to Weaver? Go.
Botox treatment in backyard shed left woman with permanent frown, Florida police say. A woman experiencing facial paralysis after getting Botox discovered her doctor, in air quotes, was practicing medicine without a license. According to investigators in Florida, among the red flags, the treatments occurred in a backyard shed decked out to look like a med spa. The Port St. Lucia Police Department said in a Wednesday, July 9th news release, the victim told police she experienced facial paralysis after visiting the shed in May to get Botox injections from 50-year-old Rosa Mensa. After Mensa was confronted about the victim's injuries, she refunded the $325 that the victim paid. After the paralysis persisted, however, Mena had the victim return to inject her again, but this time with vitamins to reverse the effects.
What was her name again?
Rosa Mena.
Why am I picturing the maid on Family Guy? No.
Oh, it gets better.
No.
Still
Lemon pledge.
experiencing paralysis, the victim requested to see Mena's medical license and supporting certificates, which she never produced. Instead, she provided a censored/altered certificate of a phlebotomy. Drawing blood for tests. The victim told detectives she contacted the issuing agency where she learned it had expired in February of 2024. When confronted, Mena dismissed the patient's concerns and reported she had previously been a doctor in the Dominican Republic. A multi-agency investigation resulted in a warrant to search the property, leading to an overwhelming amount of evidence to support the victim's allegations, including Botox, fat sculpting machines, laser hair removal equipment, and liposuction equipment. Mena was arrested and charged with 3 counts of aggravated battery causing bodily harm, 3 counts of health safety practicing medicine without an active license, fraud, swindle of obtained property of $300 or more, fraud, swindle, and obtained property under $20,000, use of two-way communication device to facilitate a felony.
She had walkie-talkies.
License, please. I mean, I'm just imagining an old girl with her friends. Y'all don't think it looks good?
Yeah.
You don't think it looks okay?
So, does this lady still have a frown?
I did not provide an update. That poor woman.
Y'all don't think this looks okay?
Also, she's probably the nincompoop here. Why are you getting Botox in somebody's shed in their backyard?
That's what I'm saying. Why even look for the woman's license?
I mean, you're in a shed.
You're in a
shed.
You know exactly what you're getting out of that shed.
This is some back alley Botox.
You're getting discount back alley BS Botox. Is what you're getting.
There was probably a crayon sign on the door that spelled doctor's office, DOKTERS.
Probably misspelled office, too. Left the E off.
OFECE.
No.
Lemon pledge.
Oh, my God.
That's probably what the Botox actually was.
Lemon pledge. Well, there you go. I mean, you got at least 2 out of 3. Somebody's saying your Walmart story is not true, Ken, but I believe it is. I believe in that story.
There's a whole bunch of people reporting on it.
That's right. I believe in Ken Weaver. I believe in Jackson Williams. I don't believe so much in my story, but you know what? Sympathy votes count, too. There you go. Vote early, vote often, 615-737-9986. That's how we play Nincompoops in the News. More tunnel talk in a moment on Super Talk. Join us on the radio, 99.7 FM. Join us online wherever you find an app that downloads podcast, or you can stream music or news information. You can stream this radio show. The Matt Murphy Show, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Tune in to Spotify, tune in, iHeart, or our own app. And then, of course, there's Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. I just checked in on the YouTube chat. Feisty.
Yeah.
Feisty.
They're getting after it
They're
today.
getting after it. There's disagreements as to whether or not there will be effectiveness in the tunnel. Some are suggesting flooding as an issue. I'm going to trust that they have thought of that. I don't know. Maybe you invest $50 million, $60 million, $70 million, and you don't think about the fact that it rains in the state of Tennessee. I don't know. Or maybe you do. And you're just hoping, crossing your fingers. I'm gonna trust that they have thought about flooding. And they have a flood abatement plan in effect. But if not, it's their nut, not mine. Right? I mean, it's not my money, it's their money. Yes, Jackson.
What are the votes for nincompoops?
Well, there's a lot of people that are saying they're a believer. I'm a believer. Ken for the win. Ken the Cleaver has my vote. Insane Walmart clown posse.
I got nothing.
It's close again, but Dream Weaver and Jackson has a close second. Weaver hands down. Sympathy vote for Murphy.
Way to go, Brother Murphy.
Thank you. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Billy, for that sympathy vote. Ken, always the free place to live. Weaver Williams. Oh, a Weaver Williams tie, is that a thing? No, it's not a thing.
That's a vote for each of us.
That is not a thing. That is not a vote for both. Oh, here you go. 9487. Your mom checked in. Jackson wins.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if that's your mom or not. I thought Ken, but then changed to Jackson. Jackson won.
Hey.
Oh, a vote for Jackson. Holy moly, this is getting tighter than I thought. Ken wins again.
Just keep doing this till 6:30.
Matt Murphy, MM. I think you will see the system hop out of the ground when you get beyond heavy construction. Well, I don't. That's a long form message about transportation in the tunnel, not having anything to do with possible flooding. My vote is for turn that frown upside down.
That's me.
2703. Did he say faux lobotomy? I think he did. I think you did say faux lobotomy.
PH lobotomy is how it was spelled. That would be.
That's a type of lobotomy, I think.
Oh, no. What was she doing in this shed?
Not faux as in fake lobotomy. Sorry, Ken. Jackson wins, said Dawn.
Ow.
Weaver's people were too smart to pull that off for 2 years. Weaver. I'm gonna have to do some study on this. It's a little bit closer than I thought it would be. In the meantime, before we get to news, Lee, you are up next. What's going on, Lee?
I'm thinking about moving to Walmart. Sounds pretty good. Ken wins.
I think Lee just cast the tie-breaking vote, Jackson. There you go.
There you go. Sorry, Jackson. Don't know you yet. Got grandson named Jackson.
Oh, so
But I think I want to invest in Tesla, and those cars going to be going under y'all's ground. I texted you last week about I've been under the Holland Tunnel and the other tunnel up there and the Chesapeake Bay Bridge and tunnel. Ain't that going to happen. They make them better now.
Well, I mean, there are certainly tunnels that go underneath rivers. There are tunnels that go like you say, there's the Lincoln Tunnel.
Yeah.
Lincoln Tunnel goes under a body of water. So I would think you would have the ability to make these things water resistant, if not waterproof. But you would have, I don't disagree with the I guess it's the person on the YouTube channel. I don't disagree that it needs to be a consideration, but I would hope that a company this large would have considered the fact that it does rain quite a bit in the state of Tennessee.
I understand.
Yeah.
I live close to Lost River Cave, or I worked for a company out there, and we was always graveling a parking lot to park the big trucks, and we'd have to do it about every 6 months. And it's like we were like, "Where's all this water? These rocks going?" And one guy said, "I bet there's some guy up there at Lost River Cave won't know where all this rock's coming from."
I bet.
You know. Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Well, Lee, it's Elon tested and Lee approved. It's time for the news on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, there is a report happening right now. I'm watching breaking news. There is an active shooter with a long rifle on the loose in Manhattan. This is breaking news coming from #NeverCNN, amongst other sources. There is an active shooter presence in Manhattan as we speak, and it is believed that this individual has a long rifle. This comes on the heels of a number of other incidents. There was one involving Reno, Nevada, a shooting incident happening out there. One over the weekend, a Walmart shooting, or Walmart stabbing, I should say, where 11 people were stabbed. That was stopped by a good guy with a gun. I don't have a lot of details on it, except that we just have that breaking news. Let me see if I can find, y'all just give me 1 second. I'll go to a couple of sources here. At least, okay, wow. Mayor Eric Adams is on the scene. It has been confirmed that a suspect carrying a long gun and wearing a bulletproof vest Yeah, we might have to suspend your Happy Gilmore review based on this because we're getting information that at least 6 people have been shot in New York City. At least one, an officer on a paid detail. This, according to online sources, yeah, this looks pretty bad. So, just breaking news coming out of New York City. 6 people reportedly shot. I'm getting that from one source. I'm not getting that from anybody else. So I want to be careful in regurgitating that. In breaking news like this, we get the modern era has presented us an opportunity to get news out of local communities in real time, whether it be Michigan and the stabbing situation that happened over the weekend, whether it be Reno, Nevada, which happened this morning, or this situation that I'm reporting for you out of New York City. And while that information comes to us more quickly than ever before, even 15 or 20 years ago, certainly 20 years ago, before the advent of Twitter and other immediate social media platforms where eyewitnesses on the scene could then report exactly what they were seeing and what was happening, we would sometimes wait hours, if not days, before we discovered the nature of incidents like this. And in those hours or in those days, you would be able to separate fact from fiction, and you would get the general parameters of what's going on without fear that some of those things would change. I would tell you that now in the modern era, and I caution you, that sometimes I bring you breaking news that we get information that could change. We get details that sometimes I have to choose not to share with you because of fear that these are not corroborated details, or we don't get 2 independent sources verifying the information. I don't want to scare the hell out of people for no reason. And this latest situation happening in New York seems to be one of them. Now, there is a fire department presence. There is a police department presence that would indicate to me that we're not just dealing with someone that has not fired a weapon and has been seen with a long gun, but we're dealing with someone who is actively shooting that gun. But we are being told by several different news outlets and sources that there is an active shooter currently on the streets of Manhattan with some type of long gun. Some media outlets are reporting that as an AR-15. This is AR-15 is something that people say when it looks like a quote-unquote assault-style rifle. It could be an AR-15. It could be some different type. But most media outlets are reporting that it is, in fact, a long gun. It is developing in Manhattan. As of several minutes ago, an active shooter with a rifle was near Park Avenue near East 52nd Street. Sources tell various news outlets there that the New York City Police Department, a New York City police officer was among those that was shot. The suspect was wearing a bulletproof vest. As of 50 minutes ago, the New York City Police Department was requesting a level 3 mobilization response. I would assume that is a high-level mobilization response. I'm getting information as of 9 minutes ago that the Manhattan active shooter was found dead on the 33rd floor of an office building. Now, once again, beware of that information. I have not corroborated that information. But there are, I'm looking at a photo of the individual with the reported long gun in his hand. As you can imagine, on the streets of Manhattan, there's really no street corner where you're going to go where there is not some sort of surveillance, either city surveillance or private security surveillance. And it appears this individual was in walking shoes, black, dark-colored pants. It looks like a button-up shirt and a jacket. And we are hearing that he had a bulletproof vest. This is a male. if this is indeed the assailant that I'm looking at, believed to have a high-powered rifle and was believed to have fled into an office building. There's a massive police response. FBI already on the scene. Obviously, New York City police officers, SWAT already on the scene. According to several reports, an officer and at least 2 civilians have been shot. An officer and at least 2 civilians have been shot. That is in Manhattan, the island of Manhattan. Office building in question houses. So several media outlets are reporting the suspect is at large. I also have a report that the suspect is barricaded into a building. I have a third report that is uncorroborated that the active shooter was found dead inside of that building. I do not know. I'm trying to corroborate that report. So just breaking news coming out of New York City right now. Officers were seen performing CPR on at least one gunshot victim during this active shooting in Manhattan. I'm looking at what is believed to be the image of the Midtown Manhattan shooter. But this is a developing story that broke out less than an hour ago. It is 7:44 local time there, 6:44, of course, or 6:45 now, Middle Tennessee time. And I'm just trying to catch up with all of this information. Let me try to go here and see what, if anything, we have. I'll tell you what. Here we go. Just in, the FBI is, Dan Bongino indicates that the FBI has responded to the active shooter in New York City through their New York field office. They're responding to provide support to the NYPD. Obviously, the New York City Police Department is the largest police department in the United States of America, and they obviously have SWAT and every aspect of what you would expect to deal with something like this, but any level of support is good in this situation, especially when it's a breaking news situation. This police response, I'm seeing multiple photos now from a variety of different outlets. Now, once again, I warn you that sometimes these outlets can feed on one another, but this looks to be legit. It is an individual walking across a plaza, looks to be going inside of a building in Midtown Manhattan, holding what appears to be a long gun, a what would be classified as an AR-15 style rifle, I would say, wearing sunglasses, in a jacket, looks to be fairly bulky under the jacket, which would be consistent with the reports that there is a bulletproof vest on underneath a button-down shirt, dark pants, and what seem to be athletic shoes of some sort, white-bottomed athletic shoes. But that is the photograph that we have of the individual right now. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Take a break, try to collect everything we know about this situation, and we'll continue to try to update you moving forward to the top of the hour news. But right now, just to reiterate, if you're just joining us, there's an active shooter in New York City, in Manhattan, one officer and at least 2 civilians shot, and many media outlets are saying that that search is still active, that the shooter is still alive. I've got at least one outlet reporting that the shooter might be down inside of a building that they entered. That building is reportedly I am not suggesting in any way that anything's related. I have no idea if anything's related, but the building reportedly houses the NFL headquarters out of New York City. So we're hearing that. No word on, what, if any, connection is to be made there, except to say that can just cite the building for some of you that know where that building might be. It is 12 until the top of the hour. We'll collect our thoughts and be back in a moment on Super Talk. All right, a few minutes before we make way for Mark Levin and the Mark Levin Show. Before that, obviously, we'll have ABC News at the top of the hour. Hopefully, they will have an update. I've got an update for you in just a moment on the shooting out of Manhattan. A big day, huge day. We had Gino Bolso on the show announcing that he was in on the 7th Congressional District race. A lot of folks in that Republican contest. Obviously, a big announcement day for the state of Tennessee, as it was announced by the Department of Transportation. The U.S. Secretary of Transportation was here. Sean Duffy was here in the B&A airport. making this announcement. And did you hear that our good buddy, Brother Jones, who has an open standing invitation to come on the show anytime he wants, he made an ass of himself again as he was not invited to or chose not to go through the proper channels to be invited to the ceremony, but tried to bust up in on the ceremony, and he was politely declined to leave or asked to leave. And he's trying to make all kind of big deal about that. No Freddie O'Connell at that announcement, but the big announcement was that a deal had been reached between the state. It will cost the taxpayers no dollars, and there will be a tunnel between B&A Airport and somewhere downtown Nashville. Remains to be seen. It will largely go along the Murfreesboro Pike route, I am told, as that is a state highway, and you can go underneath that. And we're told that this will happen within 2 years. There's a lot of excitement about this, some concerns about this. Remains to be seen how fast this is going to go into action and whether the city of Nashville will be on board with this. It feels like they are not going to get on board, as Freddie O'Connell's already lying about it. I mean, and I don't know else how to say it. I know. Look, I'm a guy with a radio show that has been here about 4 years, right? And we talk about local matters, we talk about state matters, we talk about national and international things. I've developed a few connections in the mayor's office and just outside of the mayor's office, and it is my understanding it doesn't take much to learn. If some schmuck with a microphone on the radio could do it, you could do it. Freddie O'Connell met with the Boring Company at least twice. Said no both times. And now he's acting like he's got all these questions. All of your questions should have been answered when you met with them, Freddie, but in your response to the state's agreement with the Boring Company, you didn't make us aware that you had met with them. Well, you have. So why not tell us about those meetings and what concerns you had during those meetings? Remains to be seen whether the city council or the mayor's office can get out of their own way and recognize the benefit to the community. By the way, I should note that tourism apparently has been down over the last calendar year, like 16 or 17%. Tourism should not be considered just an automatic. You have to feed that beast in order to keep it coming back. And this would be a good way of doing that, in my opinion. And I don't know if Freddie doesn't see it that way or not. But some of the stories we didn't get to, my goodness, this stabbing spree that happened at Walmart over the weekend. A Michigan resident, an ex-Marine, stopped that, at least in part, put that on ice by pulling down on the guy. Had a gun. Thank you, good guy with a gun. Stops a bad guy with a knife. We did not discuss Trump and the EU deal at length, except to say it seems like a great deal, and liberals are in absolute denial over it. These deals just keep coming. And, oh, by the way, all of you liberals that told us that the economy would be in shambles by August, where are you now? Now, as far as the update goes out of Manhattan, apparently the info is true that the FBI has responded to the active shooter incident, but the shooting suspect is believed to have killed himself. According to ABC 7, local eyewitness news on the scene in Manhattan, the shooting suspect has shot and killed himself in a Midtown Manhattan office building after earlier shooting a New York City police officer and a civilian, at least one civilian, just outside of the office building. The office building is at 345 Park Avenue. The building contains offices for Blackstone, which is an investment group, as well as the NFL headquarters. The building remains on lockdown. Police sources say the shooting suspect fled into the building after the officer and a civilian were shot on the street at the location. We do not currently know the condition of either victim. Police sources are now saying the shooting suspect killed himself on the 33rd floor of the building. Once again, that is according to Eyewitness News Channel 7. Police sources say the shooting suspect killed himself on the 33rd floor of the building. Officials ask, well, if you're local to the area, they're asking you to avoid the area at all costs. But that is just the latest news that we have on the Midtown shooting in Manhattan. It is contained, and according to the New York City Police Department, the shooter has been neutralized. They're saying neutralized. Several other media outlets are saying that he has shot and killed himself. I am certain that ABC News will have updates on that throughout the evening. Mark Levin is coming up next, and we'll have updates throughout the evening and throughout the day tomorrow on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, where we'll start with Nationals Morning News with Dan Mandis, and then there's Chris Hand, and then there's Chad Benson, and before you know it, a Tuesday edition of the Matt Murphy Show. I've enjoyed it. For Ken Weaver back in News Closet B, for Jackson Williams in the control area, for Matt Murphy, have a great evening. Hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.